I caught my wife coughing 3 times inside a red nylon bag when she finally confessed at 3:05 a.m. My whole world shattered. Before we dive into this shocking story, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from.
For 7 years, I loved my wife Lucy with everything in me. She was beautiful, calm, and carried herself with so much grace that sometimes I thought I was the luckiest man alive. But there was one strange thing about Lucy, something I never understood. Every first day of her monthly flow, she would wake up in the middle of the night, pick a nylon bag, and go into the bathroom. Then I would hear her cough 3 times inside the nylon. 3 exact coughs. Not 2, not 4. Always 3. After that, she would return to bed as though nothing had happened. At first, I thought it was nothing serious. Maybe it was just her way of relieving stress. But as the years rolled by, my curiosity grew. One Saturday afternoon, we had gone to the supermarket. Lucy picked different nylons: red, black, green, yellow. I was puzzled. "Honey," I asked softly, "why do you keep buying these nylons? We already have plenty at home." She smiled at me, that same gentle smile that always disarmed me. "Oh, baby, you need not to worry. Just let me handle it," she said. I forced a smile and nodded, but deep down, my heart was restless. One evening, I returned from work earlier than usual. Lucy was in the kitchen, cooking stew. I quietly searched her handbag, hoping to find what she used the nylons for. Just when I found a folded black nylon tucked inside, she walked in suddenly. "Daniel, what are you doing with my bag?" she asked sharply. I stammered. I was looking for chewing gum." She stared at me for a moment, then laughed. "You could have just asked, honey. Don't snoop around like a thief." I felt embarrassed. I had been caught. She took the nylon, folded it again, and slipped it into her pocket. My chance was gone. Another time, on a Sunday morning, she was in the shower. I quickly sneaked into the bathroom cabinet where she usually kept things. I opened the drawer and saw a nylon hidden under her underwear. My heart beat fast. I stretched my hand to pull it out, but immediately the bathroom door opened and steam poured out. She stepped out, wrapped in her towel, her eyes narrowing at me. "Daniel, what are you looking for there?" I fumbled. Toothpaste. I couldn't find it." She smiled faintly. "Next time, ask me. Don't turn the whole cabinet upside down." Again, she took the nylon and kept it away before I could even touch it. One night, she fell asleep early after dinner. I decided it was my chance. Slowly, I searched under her pillow, then under the bed. Finally, I saw a small nylon peeping out of her handbag. Just when I bent down to pull it out, Lucy turned on the bed and mumbled, "Daniel, what are you doing there?" I froze. "I was picking my charger." She rolled over and yawned. "Please don't scatter my things." I sat back on the bed, frustrated. 3 attempts, 3 failures. The last attempt was the most painful. I pretended to be asleep one night. Around 2 a.m., Lucy quietly picked a nylon and tiptoed into the bathroom. My heart was pounding. I decided to follow her this time, but the moment I got up, she seemed to sense it. The bathroom door opened suddenly, and she stepped out. "Daniel, why are you awake?" she asked, her eyes suspicious. "I was thirsty," I lied. "I wanted to drink water." She looked at me for a while, then smiled faintly and went back inside. I knew she had escaped again. Despite all my suspicions, I trusted Lucy. I believed she had her reasons. After all, we were husband and wife. We had been trying to conceive for 7 years without success. We went for tests, scans, and treatments, but every doctor told us the same thing. You are both fine. Yet, nothing happened.
Sometimes I wondered if her strange nylon habit had something to do with our childlessness, but I never had the courage to push her further. That Sunday evening, I prepared myself to make love to her. I took my bath, shaved, and even sprayed my best perfume. As a gentleman, I wanted the moment to be special. But when I approached her, she shook her head gently. "Honey, it's the first day of my monthly flow. I'm not ready." My heart sunk, but I didn't argue. I simply pretended to sleep. Minutes later, I heard her gently stand up. She tiptoed to her bag, took a nylon, and went into the bathroom. I held my breath, listening carefully. Then it came. 1 cough, 2 coughs, 3 coughs. Silence. I opened my eyes, staring at the ceiling. Something was definitely wrong. The third time it happened again, I couldn't keep quiet. "Lucy," I said gently one morning, "do you have cough? You keep coughing every time. Maybe we should see a pharmacist." She looked at me and laughed. "No, darling, I'm fine. I don't have any cough." "Then why?" I started. "Don't worry yourself, Daniel. I'm okay." Her tone was final. She didn't want me to ask further. But from that day, she became more careful. She started hiding to cough into the nylons. Sometimes she would wait until I went to work before doing it. Other times she would lock the bathroom door tightly at night. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself my wife would never hide anything harmful from me. I told myself I was overthinking. But deep inside, something in me whispered, "Daniel, your wife is hiding something." And that whisper kept me awake at night. By the end of 7 years, I had grown tired of questioning. I decided to let her be. But unknown to me, that strange nylon secret was the very thing standing between us and the joy of parenthood. But how was that even possible? It was a Wednesday evening when her story took a sharp turn. The day had been calm. I returned home from work, tired, but thankful. Lucy cooked fried rice that evening, and we ate together. Everything seemed normal until the doorbell rang. I stood up to check. To my surprise, it was Pastor Richard, our family pastor. He rarely visited without notice. "Pastor, good evening, sir," I greeted with excitement. "Daniel, my son, how are you?" he asked, stepping inside. Lucy came out from the bedroom with a smile. "Good evening, Pastor. You're welcome, sir." She didn't spend up to 3 seconds with him. She quickly excused herself and went back to the room. I was surprised. Lucy always stayed when we had visitors, especially when it was the pastor. But this time, she disappeared too quickly. Pastor Richard sat in our sitting room. He prayed for us, encouraged me to keep trusting God, then left after about 30 minutes. It looked like a normal pastoral visit. I didn't read any meaning to it. The next day, around noon, my phone rang. It was Pastor Richard. "Hello, Pastor. Good afternoon, sir," I answered respectfully. His voice was firm, almost heavy. "Daniel, listen to me carefully. Go home and ask your wife to tell you what she is hiding from you. Then shall you conceive." I froze. "My wife? Pastor, what do you mean?" "Daniel, you heard me clearly. Ask her. Until she confesses, your marriage will remain in this state." Before I could say another word, he ended the call. I stood speechless, my phone still pressed to my ear. My wife? Hiding something? For 7 years, I had trusted Lucy completely. Yes, she had her strange nylon behavior, but I always told myself it was nothing. Could it be what the pastor was talking about? That evening, when Lucy returned from work, I decided to ask her. My heart was pounding, but I tried to stay calm. "Honey, can I ask you something?" She looked at me suspiciously. "What is it?" "Pastor Richard called me today. He told me to ask you what you are hiding from me. He said that's the only way we will conceive. Her expression changed immediately. She flared up, her eyes sharp with anger. How dare you? So you believe a man of God more than your wife? After all these years, Daniel, you think I am hiding something from you? Lucy, please calm down, I tried to explain. No, tell me, who gave you the right to accuse me? If you love your pastor more than me, then maybe you married the wrong person. Her words cut deep into my heart. I was speechless. I had only asked a simple question, but her reaction was too strong. Lucy, I didn't say I don't trust you. I just wanted to understand. Why are you so angry? Because you allowed someone to put suspicion into your heart. Daniel, I'm your wife. If you love me, then stop listening to outsiders. She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. I sat on the couch, weak and confused. For days, Lucy refused to talk to me properly. She avoided my eyes, cooked in silence, and barely smiled. I regretted asking her, but the pastor's words kept ringing in my head.
Ask your wife to tell you what she's hiding from you, and then shall ye conceive. I wondered, could it really be the strange nylon habit? Or was there something deeper, something I had not yet discovered? I tried to let it go. I told myself, maybe the pastor was mistaken. But every time I looked at Lucy, I felt an invisible wall between us. After a month of silent tension at home, I couldn't take it anymore. One Saturday morning, I decided to visit Pastor Richard in his house. He welcomed me warmly. "Daniel, my son, you look troubled," he said. I sighed heavily. "Pastor, I asked my wife as you said, but she refused to answer. She got angry and demanded to know who told me such a thing." Pastor Richard nodded slowly, as if he already expected that. Then he said something that shook me. "Daniel, the truth cannot hide forever. If she refuses to speak, then prayer and fasting will force her confession. You must seek God in spirit. Do you love your wife enough to fight spiritually for your marriage?" I said, "Yes, Pastor. I love her and I want the truth." "Then listen carefully," Pastor Richard continued. "Go on 20 days of prayer and fasting. During this time, you will eat nothing until 6 p.m. daily. Pray for revelation, and your wife will confess what she hides. Only then will the chains break." I returned home with a heavy heart. 20 days? Could I endure it? Lucy was already suspicious whenever I skipped meals. How would I survive without her noticing? Still, I was determined. I began my fasting secretly. Each evening when Lucy served food, I pretended to eat. I would carry the food to the dining table, smile at her, but later toss it into the bin when she wasn't looking. By the 15th day, my body had grown weak, but my spirit was strong. Lucy began to notice I was eating less than before. "Daniel," she said one night, frowning, "why are you eating like a child? Don't you like my cooking anymore?" I forced a smile. "I like it, honey. I'm just not too hungry these days." She didn't believe me. "If you don't start eating well, I won't cook again." To calm her, I pretended to eat, even chewing loudly so she would think I was enjoying the food. But secretly, I spat it out and threw it away. I carried on, determined to finish my fasting. By the 16th day, Lucy started complaining that she was feeling strange. I showed concern outwardly, but inside, I felt a spark of hope. Maybe my prayers are working. On the 19th day, at exactly 3:05 a.m., something happened that I would never forget. The 19th day of my fasting came like a storm I was not prepared for. That night, I lay on the bed, weak but determined. Lucy slept beside me, her breath soft and steady. I had just finished praying quietly in my heart when suddenly something strange happened.
At exactly 3:05 a.m., Lucy jumped out of bed. "Honey, what's wrong?" I asked, sitting up. But she didn't answer. Her eyes were wild, and her hands trembled. Then she began shouting, "I will confess! I will confess!" My heart almost stopped. "Lucy!" I rushed to her side, holding her arms. "Calm down, talk to me. What's happening?" She struggled against me, her strength shocking. She began to scatter things in the room, throwing pillows, pulling down the curtain, and kicking the stool. Her voice was loud, almost not her own. "I will confess. I can't hide it anymore." I tried to hold her tight, but she pushed me away and fell to the floor, crying rapidly. "Honey, please," I begged. "You're scaring me. What do you want to confess?" She pressed her hands on her face, weeping. "I can't keep it anymore. I can't." I quickly picked up my phone and dialed Pastor Richard. He answered on the second ring. "Pastor, something is happening to Lucy right now. She's shouting and crying." Pastor's voice was calm. "Daniel, don't panic. Record everything she says. The spirit of truth has taken over her. She will confess tonight." My hands shook as I pressed the record button. I knelt beside Lucy, my heart racing. Through sobs, she began to speak. "Forgive me, Daniel. I never wanted to marry you." My eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "My mother forced me. She said you were a good man, but I didn't love you. I agreed because I had no choice. I thought I could endure it, but deep down, I never wanted this marriage." Her words pierced my heart like knives. Tears filled my eyes. "Lucy, why didn't you tell me all these years? Why didn't you let me suffer?" She shook her head, crying harder. "I didn't know how to tell you. I was scared of shame. I wanted to destroy everything silently. I looked for ways to not give birth for you." "What?" I gasped. She nodded, covering her face. "The nylon. Every first day of my flow, I coughed into it as a ritual I was told would block me from conceiving. I thought if I never had your child, one day the marriage would collapse and I would be free." I staggered back, my legs weak. 7 years of love? 7 years of waiting? 7 years of tears and hospital visits? All wasted. So all this while, it wasn't God delaying us? It was you, Lucy. You were the one? She sobbed uncontrollably. "I was not happy. I didn't want this life. I was blind. I was foolish. Forgive me, Daniel." I fell on the bed, burying my face in my hands. My chest burned as though fire was inside me.
I gave you everything, Lucy. My love, my trust, my heart. And you paid me back with this? She crawled to me, holding my legs. "Please forgive me. I didn't mean to destroy you. I was just angry with life. I wanted freedom." I couldn't even look at her. My mind replayed the 7 years. Every time she smiled at me, every time she said, "Don't worry, baby," every time I prayed for a child, all of it lies. Why, Lucy? Why didn't you just walk away instead of ruining my life? Why? She cried louder, beating her chest. Because I was weak. I thought I could endure, but the bitterness consumed me. I didn't know how to stop. I thought if I told you, you would hate me, but now I can't keep it anymore. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. I shook my head, tears flowing. Sorry cannot give me back 7 years of my life. Sorry cannot wipe away the pain you caused me. The room was silent except for her sobs. My phone rang again. It was Pastor Richard. "Daniel," he said firmly, "did she confess?" "Yes, Pastor," I whispered, my voice breaking. "She confessed
everything. Good. Keep praying. Healing will come, but tonight you must decide whether you will forgive or not. Remember, forgiveness is hard, but it is the doorway to your own peace. I hung up, my heart torn in two. Forgive? How could I forgive such betrayal? Yet my heart still loved her, even in my pain. Lucy cried until she grew weak. She collapsed on the floor, still holding my leg. Her voice became faint. Please, Daniel, don't hate me. I was wrong, but I still need you. I sat in silence. My tears dropped on her hair. I had no words. My soul was empty. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat at the edge of the bed, staring at the woman I thought I knew. The woman I had loved blindly for 7 years. All I could see was betrayal. All I could hear was her voice. I never wanted to marry you. I tried to stop myself from giving birth to your child. I knew something had broken forever. By morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I quietly dressed up, took my car keys, and walked out. Lucy was still sleeping, her face swollen from tears. I didn't want to wake her. I drove aimlessly until I found myself at a coffee bar far away from home. I sat down, ordered a cup, and stared at the steaming drink without touching it. My heart was heavy. My world had collapsed. 7 years wasted. 7 years of love thrown into the dust. I saw the signs, but I ignored them because I was blinded by love. What do I do? Where do I start from? Please drop down your thoughts on what I can do, and don't forget to share.